Your children are not your children. They are sons and daughters of life's longing for itself.
They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you.
You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts.
You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams.
You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backwards, nor tarries with yesterday.
Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself.
They come through you, but not from you, and though they are with you, yet they belong not to you.
In that spirit, I invite Nate and Sabine to light our chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith.
Please join in our chalice lighting response, which will be printed in your order of service. In the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment, we gather this day. May the flame we now kindle be to us a symbol of the holiness we seek.
I invite us to rise in body or spirit, grab our music.
Good morning, my name's Allie, and so to be completely honest, I had no idea what I wanted to say for this reflection. At first I thought that looking up the 7 principles of UUCR would be able to help me, but I wasn't really inspired. So I decided to wait until 2 o'clock in the morning, because all the best ideas come at 2 o'clock in the morning, as I've learned with every single paper I've written throughout my high school career. My mom probably didn't want to hear that. So sure enough, the 2 o'clock theory didn't fail me this time, and it has continued its 100% success rate. Yesterday morning at 2 a.m. at the shipbridging sleepover, we had just finished the angel walk, and I was completely inspired for what I wanted to say about my experience at UUCR. I had recently just started going to SHIP because a lot of my COA friends were going, and it seemed like a lot of fun. Returning to SHIP was probably one of the best decisions I ever made for myself. I was able to get to know people I had come of age with a lot better, but I was also get to know people that I had never met before. But most importantly, I was able to find people who cared about me and accepted me for who I am. I was able to open up and check in with people who were willing to listen, but I was similarly able to check in and be honest with myself, which with all the changes that are currently happening in my life, it was very important for me to be able to be honest with myself. My time at UUCR, but more importantly, my short time with SHIP, has helped me realize how vital it is to sometimes take a step back from reality and be honest with myself, but also to know that no matter how down on the luck I feel, there will always be people that are looking out for me and care about me.
So I have a confession to make. You see, I've always been a liberal, and probably to most of you that comes as no surprise whatsoever. You know, I've always believed in a woman's right to choose, gay marriage, and all the other hallmarks of liberalism. And, well, I'll admit I'm a little bit questionable on their economic policy, but that's mostly because I don't believe that I actually know enough to make any judgments about the economy whatsoever. And I also think it's fair to say that that goes for pretty much everybody, including most politicians. Anyway, so I'm not really closed-minded in those beliefs either. You see, I constantly question those values, consider challenges to them, and really internally argue both sides of that debate. To me, that eternal questioning is what liberalism really is. And I trace that liberalism to one of the roots of my childhood, and I guess the roots of my life now, this church and the Unitarian Universalist faith contained within. You see, our religion doesn't really tie itself to dogma or claim superiority over other religions, as you can kind of tell up here, although after the chalice is at the top, so I don't know what that says. Or, it doesn't have a religious text, and instead it kind of draws from a bunch of different ones, like a Frankenstein monster. I'm gonna roll, guys. So in drawing from other faiths, it kind of teaches this message of tolerance and compassion and the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And so in many ways, that's something that is unique amongst, no, not unique per se, but it's the sheer manner in which it does it, in the way that it does it, in the way that it starts it from such a young age in teaching its youth. I mean, in many ways, this has been one of the real constants in my life, this church. I've been coming here since, some of you probably know better than I do, but I've been the last 10, 12, 13 years, really. And while I haven't always wanted to come, mind you, there were times in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, 7th and 8th grade, when I said, I really don't want to go to whatever I was doing. I think we're calling it religious play now, or something, I don't know. Or COA2, mind you. But, I think that changed once I got on the ship, for the most part. Because I didn't have to anymore. And it was my decision to come back here. And I think that really says something to what this community really does mean to me. And for that, I'm really incredibly thankful for this church and all of the opportunities it's given me, and all the opportunities for growth it's given me, and in doing that, for really enabling me to come up here and make this speech that's somewhat insulting to the church, but not really, because I love it. And for that, I am incredibly thankful. Thank you.
All right, I don't know how to follow that with regular words. All right, so for those of you who know me, I'm not much of a science person. I look at chemistry and start crying. But today I'm going to talk about physics. Yay! So, in fact, I'm going to talk about Schrodinger's cat.
So for those of you who aren't familiar with the subject of Schrödinger's cat, the Austrian physicist Erwin Schrödinger, when describing the duality of light, came up with this thought experiment of a black box with a cat in it and a vial of poison. This vial of poison would randomly come uncorked at a time unknown to both the cat and an outside observer, and the cat would die. Sad cat. But when you think about it in terms of light, one can see the cat as being both alive and dead. You don't know whether it's alive, whether it's dead. Ergo, it's both. So I kind of see UUism as being Schrödinger's cat. That's probably a little weird sounding. But at UUCR, I've always been taught that whether or not you act conventionally religious, or if you just find spirituality in different methods to say, if you like going to church, sitting in the pew, singing the psalms, or if you like maybe going outside for a walk, and that's what's spiritual for you, that all of that is fine. So let's assume that conventional religion, all of us sitting here in the pews, is the dead cat. And let's imagine that some person out in Harold Parker right now, listening to the birds chirping, is the alive cat. So, as UUs, we're all inside our own little Schrödinger's box. And we're both dead and alive. Both us here and that person outside is being spiritual, is experiencing religion. It's the thing about UUism that I've gotten from this church, that Unitarian Universalism is almost not duality, but an intertwining of really any method of spirituality that you feel is right for you. That's what I've found.
leave UUCR to pursue other things at other places, I'm confident that part of this church will be traveling with me. As I looked around at my fellowship members the other night, I realized how much of an impact these people have had on me. In fact, how much this entire church has impacted me. I honestly don't think I would be the same person I am today if I never walked through those doors and made the decision to keep returning. I am an outspoken, stubborn, over-contemplative individual, and I am so proud to say that this church helped me become that way. Going forward, I know this church has influenced me in such a way that as I make decisions of increasing importance, both the UU principles and my ability to form and communicate my own beliefs will be present. Being an active member of this church has helped me sift through the confusing bits of life and pick out the pieces that I know that matter to me. I'm so happy I've spent my youth going to a church that encouraged me to question, explore, and act as an individual. Both the ship meetings and the weekly services have given me a regular time to check in with myself and the world. I think about the things that really matter, but don't always seem to matter when I have to wake up for school in the morning or write a paper. I find that to be a rare case for many people of all ages today. So knowing that I have the things this church has taught me in my backpack for when I need it, I feel ready to move forward in life and excited to come back later and tell you all that I've done, knowing that I will be welcomed with open arms.
Challenges, the pains, the things that you'll face as you move into your young adulthood. But remember that the rose is also a symbol of love. It's a symbol of our love for you and that greater love that will always surround you through your life. We're also going to give you your own personal copy of Oh, the Places You'll Go, Dr. Seuss. It's a tradition, a long-standing tradition here at the church. So when I call your name, I'm going to invite you to come forward, receive your gifts, and then just stand here a moment, look at your community. I'll offer a blessing, and then you will make the walk into your young adulthood. So, Jeremy, Allie, Julia, Justine, Ian, Chris, Ray, Ian. You stand on the edge at this point of passage. You're ready now to cross from your childhood. You're ready now to cross into your adulthood. As you walk, know that we will remember you. You will always be part of us and this place. So, we bridge you, carry our love and our prayers with you. You are part of us, and we are part of you. There are 5 youth who are unable to be with us today because of their schedules. And so bridging in spirit will be Ethan Barkalow, Brian Connery, Maeve Curley, Lily Santo, and Jack Shannon. May they walk in love, may they walk in wisdom, may they walk gently upon this earth. I now invite you to bring your hands